Morning Trig, we're going to cover lesson 99. Now again, 99 is review of the two different kinds of sequences we can have. An arithmetic sequence is when your terms are either being added or subtracted a common difference. Like, for example, an arithmetic sequence would be like 6, 12, 18, 24, etc. The common difference is just plus 6. It can also be a sequence that decreases, right, by the same amount. Where a geometric sequence has been multiplied by the same. So it would be like 2, 6, 18, 54. In this case, a term has been multiplied by the same thing each time. So it doesn't have a common difference, it has a common ratio. So we call this is just review, a common difference. And we call R a common ratio. Now, in an arithmetic sequence, this is the form and how we would find like the nth term or the sixth term, or how to find the next 3 terms. So these are the equations we will use. So in 99.B, we are going to do some advanced sequence problems because, again, these sequences are introduced in Algebra 2. So advanced sequence problems. Number 1, find the 10th term in the geometric progression that begins with, and here's our terms, x, the next is square root 2 x squared. The next is 2x cubed. And then the dot means that the sequence continues. So, in order to find R, we are going to divide second by first term to find R. Now, they told me this was a geometric sequence. So that's really good to know because then I know the formula is above. I know that A to whatever term, so in this case 10, would equal A1 times R to the 10 minus 1. Now, we are going to find R. So R will equal the second term divided by the first term. So here in this case, this is A1, this is A2, this is A3. So I'm dividing the second term by the first, and if I simplify this, I get root 2x. So this is my R value. So now I can plug in, I'm going to find A10. I know A1 is x. I know R, I just found R, is root 2x, and I'm simplifying this to be to the 9th. So I get A10 equals x times, now I have, this would be root 2 to the 9th times x to the 9th. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and enter. Now you can do this a couple ways. I know it just depends on how you want to simplify this. I like to think of this as if I would have this to the 8th times root 2 to the first. And root 2 to the 8th would be the same as 2 to the 1/2 to the 8th times root 2 to the first. This would give me 2 to the 8, 2 to the 4, so 16 root 2. So, I could write this as, there's so many different ways to write this. I could also write this as 2 to the 1/2 to the 8th times 2 to the 1/2, which would give me 2 to the 9/2. So either way, I get 16 root 2 times x to the 10th, or 2 to the 9 over 2 times x to the 10th. It's really up to you and how you want to write that, but please don't write things as a decimal. Number 2, find the 4th term in the geometric progression that begins 2 plus root 6, comma, 6 plus 2 root 6, 12 plus 6 root 6. Okay, so here's my geometric progression. I know that this is A1, this is term 2 or A2, this is term 3, and they want the 4th term, so they just want one more. Now to find R, right, R will equal my 2nd term divided by my 1st term. Now, this looks a little crazy, and I'm trying to think if there's an easier way to simplify, and there's not. So to find R, I have to get rid of this. I have to rationalize the denominator. And so I get 12, let's see here, minus 6 root 6 plus 4 root 6 minus 2 times 6 all over 4 minus 6. So this gives me, this is going to give me negative 12, so 12 minus 12 is canceled, so I get negative 2 root 6 over negative 2, so I get root 6. So root 6 equals R. So here we go. I know, so to find A4, I would take A1 times R to the 4 minus 1. So let's plug everything in. I'm finding A4. So A1 is 2 plus root 6 times R, we just found, is root 6. But this is to the 3rd. So now I have 2 plus root 6 times root 6 times root 6 times root 6, right, to the 3rd. So this is 2 plus root 6 times 6 root 6, okay? And then I'm going to distribute, so I get 12 root 6 plus 6 times 6. So I get 36 plus 12 root 6, written in proper order. Whew! Pretty crazy, I know. So we're going to do one more, more of a word problem type, like one that is on a test coming up. And so let me lower that. All right, so number 3, a ball is dropped from a height of 81 inches. On each bounce, the ball rebounds 2/5 of the distance it fell. So how far does the ball fall on its 6th fall? Or 6th term, right? Okay, so let's talk about what we know. I know that my first term is 81, and I know that R equals 2/5. Okay, so I know that. And they want us to find a 6th because they're asking for 6th fall. Okay, so using, so I know that a sixth will equal the first term times r to, n is 6, so 6 minus 1. So I'm trying to find a sixth. I know that a1 is 81. It started at 81 inches, but each time it's just 2/5 times that to the fifth. So 81 times 2 to the fifth over 5 to the fifth is essentially what this is. So this is 81 times 32 over 3125. And that equals 0.83. And in this case, so on that sixth bounce, it's less than 1 inch off the ground. Now moving on to 99.C, which is on arithmetic and geometric means. All right, so there are two means, remember means average. And so let's go over both. An arithmetic mean is, and I should just, I can help you discover it, or no, I'll just tell it to you. An arithmetic mean is two terms added together and divided by 2. A geometric mean is plus or minus the square root of the two terms multiplied together. Okay? So if I said, what is the arithmetic and geometric mean of 6 and 42? Well, my arithmetic mean would be 6 plus 42 divided by, there are two numbers, so that would give me 48 over 2 or 24. The geometric mean would be plus or minus the square root of 6 times 42. 6 times 42 is plus or minus the square root of 252. So I'm going to simplify that, plus or minus. 252 divided by 36 is 7. So 36 times 7, that would be plus or minus 6 root 7. So pretty simple. If I asked for the arithmetic and geometric mean between x and y, your arithmetic would just be x plus y over 2, and your geometric would be plus or minus the square root of x times y. And that would be it. So what this is trying to get us to is finding missing values. So if the positive geometric mean of two numbers is 8, and the difference between the numbers is 30, find your numbers. All right, so let's talk about what we know. I know that the positive square root of x times y equals 8, right? The geometric mean is and they just told me the positive is 8. And they told me that the difference between the two numbers is 30. So this is what I have so far. Okay, so I'm going to create a method and use substitution. So I'm going to get this one by itself, x equals 30 plus y. So now between these, I'm going to use substitution. So the positive square root, I know what x equals, of 30 plus y times y equals 8. Now to solve this, right, I would take, I don't need this positive, I would take the square root, and to get rid of that, I would square it. So I would get, and I'm going to distribute this, 30y plus y squared equals 64. So y squared plus 30y minus 64 equals 0. I'm going to factor negative 64 and 30. That would be 32 times negative 2. So y plus 32, y minus 2 equals 0. So y could equal negative 32 and positive 2. Or the other possibility is that both of them, and what did I do wrong here? So if y equals 32, then x, if they're a distance of 30 apart, is 2. That's one possibility. Or if y, sorry, that was a negative. If y is a negative 32, then x is a negative 2. If y is a positive 2, then x is a positive 32. So you actually have two different possibilities for x and y. And those are the types of problems you are going to see on your homework. And I didn't really leave room to list what we're skipping, so I'm going to do it here. Homework 99, you're going to skip numbers 3 through 5, 17, 19, 21 through 24, and 27. Sorry.